My parents were always very inquisitive, and they were really interested in world affairs and politics and sports and everything. So I think that helped also broaden my perspective. And by the time I was about 16, maybe, I was really interested in justice, the legal system, and justice issues. People often ask me, role models or people that inspired you that drew you into that career. And at the time, there were, when I was 16, there were no women in the RCMP. So it's not like I had someone to look up to or even see on the street. At the age of 18, that was the first time I got on a plane when I headed out to Burnaby, BC to go to SFU. I thought it would set me up well, that if I did a degree in criminology and didn't go into a career in policing, that I would have other opportunities in somewhat related fields. SFU provided an environment for equality and diversity. So I found that over the span of my career, like many people, I faced a number of challenges and obstacles. But to be successful, I think the important piece is you don't dwell on that. You learn, you adapt, and you move forward. And I think that SFU provided me with the knowledge and more importantly, I think the confidence, to believe in my abilities and the skills that I picked up there. I always was lucky to have people who would say to me, keep going, you're passionate about what you want to do and you can succeed. I joined the RCMP in 1981 and women had only been in for 6 years. And I can recall one of my supervisors saying, well, you're a pioneer.
I met Barb Fleury over 27 years ago. And we have remained friends ever since. There was not a lot of females in the force, and so the ones that were there, you needed to have somebody to look up to, and Barb was one of those people. Here you are with a female with such good qualities, and she was able to speak to a lot of people that I met coming up the ranks many years later, who basically said one of the reasons they joined the RCMP was because of Barb.
I met Barb actually early in my career. I would say it was about just after I'd gotten out of training and into the field. She just really believed in individuals. And, I speak from my own personal experience, but she had a significant impact on a lot of other colleagues. To have an individual like Barb take an interest in who I was and trying to coach and assist and encourage me to really lean forward in all that I did has had, I would say, a significant impact on my career. I quite frankly, she's one of those trailblazers for me that if I hadn't have met her, I may not have gotten to where I have. So I have a lot to be thankful for that.
I've always been interested in women, peace, and security. And I've always been interested, I spent a large chunk of my time working internationally. I've had the benefit of going to Afghanistan, in South Sudan, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
And she was one of the first female officers to be a liaison officer in the United States, and went over to South Sudan and was brought to an orphanage. She collected and raised funds to send a generator back to South Sudan to assist the orphanage. She was a big advocate for women and a supporter of women.
I tried to encourage more women to go because in many of these countries, in conflict countries, women are more affected in many ways. When I did get my master's degree from SFU, I think there were about maybe a dozen or so police officers in the RCMP who actually had a master's degree at the time.
It was difficult to go and get a master's degree. You had to go to class full time. It wasn't like today where you could go online in a flexible environment. And Barb was actually working shift at that time. She was on the front line of policing in Surrey, in fact. And it shows the kind of individual she is. She set goals. She believed in bettering herself. And through that, she realized she could bring back more to her organization and more to the community. Now I look around me and I work with young ladies with doctorate degrees. So she really was setting that course for those of us that came along behind her.
When you look at the future, you look at, innovation, you look at technology, but also it has to be people-centric. I think no matter what field we're in, the field that I'm in, we should be a people caring, regardless of where we are. The encouragement of diverse opinions, people with different backgrounds, coming together, being able to collegially discuss issues and not always be on the same page. That was really encouraged, at SFU and by the professors that I had. I believe in the power of one person and the power that one person can have, not alone, but in their ability to shape and influence others as well.